moving on. Hold on a second. Good morning, everybody. It's Roddy Lee Gallagher. Moving on show. The show where we criticize no one. 888-4-102-102. By the way, we'll have a Tiger Woods look-alike. Jerry Reed singing that song just died. We'll have a Tiger Woods look-alike in a couple of minutes. How can we know he's a Tiger Woods look-alike if we're on radio? You can go to TigerWoodsLookalike.com, and he's there. And he has been finding that his business has slowed since the scandal. Does he hang any like half-ass models? He kind of like look. We're going to find out. He's going to be our special guest in just a little while. Robbie, Los Angeles. Yes, Robbie. How are you? Jay Thomas Show. How are you?
How are you doing?
Good. Thanks.
Yeah, my favorite news show. You guys are talking about Keith Olbermann. Love him. But I had BBC. And I absolutely loved Naked News. I mean, that show is just phenomenal.
Now the Naked News. We had those people on when it first started. And you have to pay extra to see it on my cable system. And even though I watch it through even though they try and block it, you watch it with the sound on or off, sir? Yeah. Robbie?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm going by an airport.
Do you watch that show with the sound on or off?
What's that?
Robbie, is it because when a plane takes off you can't stop looking at it? Yeah, that's weird. Robbie, let me ask you a question. The Naked News, I don't get what it is because they take their clothes off and they read the news, and that turns you on just to watch it.
No, I didn't say it turned me on. I said it's just good to get your news that way. It's like, you're like pulled into the story, you're enveloped in the news story, and then it's like, well, wait a minute, that lady's naked now.
And it doesn't turn you on?
For being informed.
It doesn't turn you on? It doesn't do anything to you?
Well, I mean, not the way you're making it sound. I mean,
Well, tell us.
I'm just a healthy, well-informed male.
So it does turn you on? Would you like Katie Couric to do that on CBS?
No. Maybe about 15 or 20 years ago.
But not now. Would you like to see Anderson Cooper take his clothes off?
Pass on that one, too.
Is Larry King on Sirius XM? Would you love? Yeah, they're all Rodney, they're all here. I know. Can you imagine Larry King? The Moving On show would be 3 minutes long. It'd be me and Garrett looking up stuff. Is he on? No. Is he on? Yeah. Yeah, everybody's here. All right, thank you, Robbie. Chris, California. Yes, Chris, how are you? Yeah.
Last week you were talking about coming to Fairfield, maybe the Pepper Valley.
No, I wasn't.
Because you
I wouldn't be caught dead in Fairfield, California, at the pepper mill, whatever it is.
Pepper Valley.
When I have a guest on the show and they're bragging about where they're going to be and they say they're going to be someplace, I say, gee, if I'm not doing anything, I'll stop by, like that. I have no interest in going to the place, and I just do it to be nice. What is it, Jay? It's a nightclub. It's a nightclub. No, what's the Pepper Mill nightclub? I don't know what it is. It's like when Cheech said he was going to be someplace. Sounds like fun. Is it fun? I have no idea, but I would never call her. Yeah.
Well,
did you go?
Well, I was going to get tickets for the Saturday night show because I thought that might have been the night you were going, and I was going to take that so that we get autographed. So
that's an I don't do. If you want an autograph, just send me your address at jthomas.com, and I'll get you an autograph. Don't you think that'll be a little kind of fruity if you have my picture up there? Because I signed them love. I said love, Chris.
Yeah. Well, I want the stiletto sign, so that's what I was going to hope for.
All right. Chris, there's something creepy about you. There's something frightening about you. I'm glad I wasn't at the place. He wants an autographed photo of Jay Thomas for his mom. And he's in love with Keith Olbermann. Yeah, it's frightening.
Well, anyways, hey, good show. I'll talk to you later.
All right, man. That was a creepy guy. Very cool. It's extra creepy because when we tried to get him, he said, "Thanks." Yeah, that's right. Let's go to Martin of Washington D.C. Yes, Martin. How are you?
Well, you were talking about Crossfire. And Tucker Carlson, who was on Crossfire,
he's too fruity. He's too fruity for that show.
Yeah,
He's a big fruit. I mean, when I say fruit, I don't mean gay or anything. He's just too namby-pamby for that show with the bow tie and the glasses.
Yeah, you needed the bow tie then.
Yeah.
Well, he had a show on MSNBC, and from all things I've read, it was Keith Olbermann that actually got him fired.
God, this Keith Olbermann is vicious.
He's basically in charge of the network. I mean, Dan Abrams, Tucker Carlson. Anytime you run afoul of Keith Olbermann, you're in trouble with the network.
Maybe he has Polaroids of somebody.
No, you know why Keith Olbermann does well, and and the same is true of a lot of other people, and Anderson Cooper's one of them, who don't have good ratings. There are lots of advertisers who will still spend millions of dollars because they like the message and they like the person. So when people go, well, gee, they don't seem to have any ratings to speak of. Trust me, they're still bringing in millions of dollars from advertisers that like them. That's the only thing. I've always thought that Donnie Deutsch was only on TV because he bought advertising time through his own company to keep those shows on the air. Because I used to do that Donnie Deutsch show, and it was unwatchable, whatever that show was. I don't even know if it's still on.
He's got the personality of a sponge. I remember when he replaced Dennis Miller in the CNBC lineup. Man, his show is absolutely unwatchable.
Yeah, so why do you think that stayed on the air?
I think that, like the Paula Zahn show, it's just vanilla enough that executives go, oh, well, this is interesting, when the rest of the public goes, oh, God, I can't stomach this.
You know, I was shocked to see that Paula Zahn was still on television the other day. I saw some ads for her, and I've known her for years. Is she against, like, Nancy Grace or... I mean, my God, who the hell watches poor Paula Zahn? Who watches that?
Housewives, people with anxiety disorders. I'm not sure.
You know what, Rodney? That's what we need to do. We need to get on one of these networks and just get hidden somehow. You know, late at night. I have to tell you, I didn't even know she was still in television until the other night. I think she's Greta Van Susteren. That's what she goes against.
That's a toughie.
Oh, yeah, she gets smashed by her. By the way, when you were in Washington, D.C., did you go out where the guys were carrying the unloaded guns during the demonstration recently?
Are you talking to me? Oh,
I'm talking to Martin of Washington, D.C.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
Washington State.
Oh, you're in Washington State.
Yeah. But I am a big supporter of the Starbucks movement to carry your guns in Starbucks.
Really?
They have out here, it's a big deal. In Washington, it's part of the state constitution that you're allowed to carry your weapon.
Right.
And Starbucks recently has been inundated with people walking in with holstered weapons because the CEO of Starbucks refuses to outlaw carrying weapons into their establishments.
So what do you think could happen? You really want somebody all jacked up on a double, espresso with a weapon on their hip? You think that's a good idea?
Hey, I went to Jay Thomas and I saw you carrying a bunch of guns around.
Yeah, when we're hunting. When we're hunting. But I will tell you, and I was talking to Rodney about this early this morning, Arizona passed a ridiculous law. You no longer need a permit, nor do you have to get any training, and you can just carry a gun anywhere now. You can conceal it, you can wear it on your hip, you can do whatever you want to do. And so everybody hates history. Every kid you talk to hates history and stuff. And of course, I have my degree in history, and so I was looking up a bunch of stuff. And what's odd is, and this is absolutely proven, especially if you type in, just look up the history of gunsmiths, let's say, which is what I was doing. Back in the 1700s, hunting was for rich people. And I'll tell you why. It was very expensive because you had to, one, own a gun, which was expensive. Two, you had to either buy a ball and powder or make it, which was time consuming. And once you started growing crops and having a cow and a chicken and a pig or whatever, you would kill that to eat. So hunting was for rich people or leisure time. And if you worked your ass off all week, on your farm, you didn't have time to hunt. And the guns were so inaccurate that from 6 feet away, the average, whatever it was, a black powder musket, would 50% of the time miss its target, right? So, Martin, when the Revolutionary War started, we confiscated, or we stole, guns called Brown Bettys from the British, right?
Yes.
And so when we were under attack in the French and Indian War with the British, and then when we took the guns from the British and we became our own, the colonies, and where do you think the soldiers went to get their guns from? Where do you think the Patriots got the? Did they take the guns off the wall and shoot the British? Where do you think they got their guns from?
Well, they were probably the remnants of the wars that had just passed, like you said, the French and Indian War.
Well, no, the population didn't have that many guns. And in fact, most people never shot their guns, didn't go hunting, and the guns were totally inaccurate. So you wouldn't want to put an army together with that. So since 1775, where do you think Americans, including the militias of every state in the United States, where do you think they got their guns?
From the British soldiers?
No, they went to an armory, and they got them from whatever the parliament or whatever the constitutional government was in the United States, or from the United States government once it became an independent, sovereign nation. They've always gone to an armory and gotten their guns that were handed out to them by the government or the state. And they got their guns, and they went and they fought whoever they needed to fight. And then when the fight was over, they turned their guns back in to the government. And do you know why, Martin, they turned them back into the government?
I refuse to accept your premise, because I know you're trying to make a point that it's...
No, I'm not. It's not a premise. I invite you to go online and to type in the history of gunsmiths, and this is why you'll find it. There were only in the United States from 1770 until almost 1800 in the 13 colonies, there were less than 10 gunsmiths in the United States. And the guns had to be repaired and ready for the next attack. So they were turned back into the government, either the state or the federal government. They were repaired by the government using taxes or whatever. And then they were put back in the armory and readied if another attack came, right? And so we have always gotten our guns from the government. Always. And these idiots with the guns. But did you like history in school, Martin? Was one of your favorite subjects was history?
I'm actually quite a history buff, yeah.
But how about your friends? Do they like, when you're sitting with your friends, do they like history?
Most of my friends are idiots now.
That's right. Garrett, did you like history in school? Was it one of your favorite subjects?
Definitely not.
Thank you. Christina, did you enjoy history?
Not so much.
Rodney, I know you enjoy history. I enjoy it. But some huge percentage of people, like 85% of students, don't like history. They hate it as much as they hate math.
It's the way they teach it.
But it's the truth about Americans.
Garrett's correct, though. It's the way they teach it.
That's true, but also...
Memorizing dates and times is not the way to teach history.
Yeah, there's no meaning behind it.
Yeah, it means nothing.
Rote memory, yeah.
Yeah.
If I was a history teacher now, I would start teaching the stuff that is being fought about, like about guns. So you could say,
you would
Martin,
teach propaganda.
That's not propaganda.
You'd be up there propagandizing.
I sent you all
Is that the
of
correct
this.
word, everyone?
Yeah, but I sent you all of this.
Jay would be up there going, I think that
No, this is what I
people
think.
shouldn't own guns except me and my...
No, this is what I
family.
think. I think if you want to
Kids,
carry a gun into the Starbucks,
Stay
or
off
you want to
drugs.
carry a
Thank
gun,
You have any drugs on you?
if you want to carry
I would
guns,
like them right now.
this is why you want to carry a gun, Martin, because your dick is small.
No,
Don't make it,
absolutely.
wait a minute, don't make it because you're going to be under attack or someone's going to steal your shit. It's the same reason why people buy $150,000 sports cars.
Yeah, Martin,
They have
be sure and
small
buy a
dicks.
gun so you can
Yeah.
torture animals.
That's exactly right. You're not buying a gun to protect yourself, and
Yeah.
those nuts that went to Washington
Shoot
had
a deer
nothing
in the
to-
thigh and let it walk around for 2 weeks.
Yeah. That's right.
That's why you want a gun.
That's right, Martin. That's why you want a gun.
That's what the founding fathers